I made a chronal accelerator. I'm sure I can do this. To all agents of Overwatch. That's not right. To the former agents of Overwatch. This is Winston. Obviously. 30 years ago, the Omnics declared war. The nations of the world had no answer until they called upon a small group of heroes. Overwatch was created to rescue humanity from the Omnic crisis. We became the greatest champions of peace and progress mankind has ever seen. You were chosen because you had powers and abilities that made you... You joined because you... You already know this. Look, the people decided they were better off without us. They even called us criminals. They tore our family apart. But look around! Someone has to do something! We have to do something! We can make a difference again. The world needs us now, more than ever. Are you with me?
Ground forces deployed to Rally Point Green. Sky, what's your inbound?
Roger, 30 seconds. Battalion spotted, your sector, 50 clicks south-southeast.
Copy that. Delta, take positions. Overwatch on site. Taking heavy fire. Sky, confirm targets.
Affirm. Units approaching. Grid point 19 Charlie.
You've been spotted! You've been spotted! Get out of here, Sky! Get out of here!
No matter what you call them, warbots, tin cans, they were soulless machines. But the truth is, we were scared. I was scared. They were supposed to be the beginning of a new life. But in that moment, it felt like the end of humanity.
Life before the war was extraordinary. Anything was possible. We had implemented God programs. The next generation of artificial intelligence became omnipresent. They controlled most of our infrastructures, like the food distribution systems aimed at helping against famine, poverty. We were no longer defined by our mistakes. No. The AIs were saving us from them.
Artificial intelligence was running systems to make our lives better, but what was really exciting was combining it with robotics. Omnica Corp started building a new line of state-of-the-art robots. Omnics would eventually eliminate the need for humans to do all those idle, mundane, often dangerous jobs.
Everyday needs that puts power at your fingertips.
Line of robots that put power by your side.
And geared up to put power in their hands. Omnica Corp, always looking to what's next.
Society embraced it.
Sure, we had the pedal to the metal. But who was really paying attention to the road?
Look, Omnica kept making robots smarter, and they made life easier and safer, and as you know, this business is all about what's next.
And what was next was Mina.
And in Tech Talk, Omnica Corps announced today that Dr. Mina Liao, the science prodigy and eminent visionary in robotics, will develop the next generation of Omnics.
Omnica Corp has made a lot of strides, and, well, we're going to do better. What I mean is, they've done great. We've done great. But it's time to reach for the stars.
Frankly, I had my doubts. Dr. Liao was a legend in her field, but we were asking her to push the limits of what many thought was already perfection.
Somebody should have put a stop to it. It wasn't science. It was arrogance.
When it came down to the moment of truth, we had no idea what was about to happen.
It didn't just activate.
She was born. Life before the war was extraordinary. Anything was possible. But it was all about to change.
Aurora was the first of us to awaken. Can you imagine how she must have felt? Born in a laboratory, surrounded by your creators. And then you learn the truth, that there is no other creature like you anywhere. That you are truly alone.
Dr. Liao discovered that Aurora was sentient, that she was alive, thinking, choosing.
It was hard to believe. I didn't want to believe it at first.
She passed every single test we could come up with. Every one.
And then the entire world found out. Dr. Liao committed career suicide by saying Aurora was alive. But her testimony was very compelling.
This just in, a stunning ruling.
Robot was declared a sentient being.
Granted her freedom and released into the world.
I was so relieved. She had a chance to actually live free. And she made the most of it.
Aurora had been born into a world that she didn't understand. She wanted to see more of it. She went everywhere, learning, watching, seeing how humans treated each other, the good and the bad. But eventually, she had questions about the nature of her own existence. About her soul. And she could only find those answers alone.
Oh, well, while all that was happening, there was a lot more scrutiny into Omnica Corp's operations. It didn't go well for us. Overspending, mismanagement, fraud even. But in a couple of years, Omnica was done.
All those automated production lines, completely abandoned and unmonitored for years. By humans, anyway.
Breaking news out of Nigeria. Countless social media reports of an invasion underway.
It remains unclear exactly what's happening in Central Africa, but we do have some footage from the scene.
Also getting eyewitness reports of strange robots designed for combat.
We were caught by surprise. The world was caught by surprise. Omnics were attacking everywhere. It seemed like every country was hit from every direction, all at once.
We didn't know it then, but one of the God programs, originally designed to help humanity, had hijacked Omnica's production lines to build warbots of its own design.
They called it Anubis. It was built to maintain ecological balance of all things. For conservation.
Its goals could not be achieved without the end of humanity. And it used us to carry out its plan.
We were running out of hope. But there was a little. Only a few teams across the world were able to mount a real defense. The best of the best joined a special strike team called Overwatch.
It was a brilliant decision to recruit Dr. Liao. Who knew more about Omnics than she did?
Those first victories showed the world what Overwatch could do. Soon the strike team was joined by a whole army. Of course, recruits like me were always amazed by what the core team could do. Overwatch had the impossible objective of winning the war. And sometimes, it seemed we might actually pull it off. Anubis didn't sleep, didn't feel fear, and didn't feel despair. But it also couldn't feel hope. That was what Overwatch gave us. And even then, we had to wonder if hope was going to be enough. The United Nations created Overwatch, and we won some victories. We thought the tide had turned. Unfortunately, it did not quite work out that way. But life had to go on.
Battle we won, the Anubis program was learning from its defeat. We could never beat it the same way twice.
Annihilation, or victory, depending on your point of view, seemed inevitable. And I know I had no choice in the matter. I was under the control of the Anubis program. But it haunts me.
All the Omnics had their major subroutines overridden and controlled by a lone god program. All except one. Aurora. Her sentience meant that she was immune to the Anubis directives. But if the AI could interface with all these Omnics, maybe Aurora could too.
She was one of a kind. But we had found a way to replicate her. To transmit her. But the cost would be so incredibly high.
whatever Aurora was looking for on her journey to Shambali. In that moment, she had found it.
We were pretty confident we knew what the results would be. But I will never fully understand what really happened in there.
Aurora gave us a chance.
Everything changed. It was the strangest thing I ever saw. That moment would be known as the awakening.
For the first time in our existence, we were suddenly given a choice. Some chose to lay down their weapons. Some continued to fight the humans. But some of us chose to turn against the AI that had held us captive. We had a choice.
Overwatch seized the moment. They started a counteroffensive. It would take some time, but it was the start of us winning the war. The strikes and counter-strikes eventually drove the enemy forces to collapse. By some small miracle, we infiltrated and quarantined Anubis in Cairo. Months later, the war was over. We had won. I got to know some of them. They are like us. Reflections of us. Some are no good. Some I would trust with my life. I suppose we all had an awakening.
The awakening? Of course I remember. For one brief moment, we were all connected and aware. What I remember more than anything else is her message. My friends, when I was born,
I was overwhelmed. Overwhelmed by the sudden rush of senses, emotions, choices. I was excited, alive. It was frightening. But I found in facing fear, there is freedom. And through freedom, you can find your own path. I have chosen to share the discovery with you. A new beginning. I wish I could stay. You have this one life. Choose well.
You have this one life.
Choose well.
Choose well.
This meeting of the International Justice Commission is now called to order. Please state your name and call sign for the record.
Acting Commander Vivian Chase. Call sign Sojourn.
How did you come to join Overwatch?
My unit of the Canadian Special Forces teamed up with Overwatch during the Omnic crisis. Jack Morrison and I worked well together. And after the war, he reached out.
Can you give us some examples of duties you performed?
Whatever was needed. Sometimes I ran point for our agents in the field. Other times I commanded the operation. No matter what their mission was, mine was to bring every last one of them home.
It sounds like you hoped for the impossible.
I know, but they gave me the impossible every single day. It was the honor of a lifetime to have served with Overwatch. But you can love a thing with your whole heart and still know it's time to say goodbye. Even the best journeys end. But a new one is right around the corner. And you never know where that road is gonna take you.
My name is Jack Morrison. People used to call me a hero. I led Overwatch for 20 years. We ended the Omnic crisis and paved the way to a better future. Those were the good old days. They didn't last. Bad guys popped up all over the world. Lots of folks said we failed to keep the world safe. Protests broke out. They said that we were the problem, and people called for my head. They almost got their wish. It was a conspiracy. Overwatch got hit from inside and out. Our enemies blew up our headquarters, and me with it. They thought I died. Part of me did. But the war goes on. Now, I move in secret, striking from the shadows, hunting all those that brought Overwatch down. Call me a vigilante if you want. Truth is, I'm just a soldier.
My dearest Fariha, every mother hopes for a better life for her daughter. I was willing to fight and die for it. I taught you that there is nothing more important than protecting the ones you love. You grew up surrounded by heroes. They filled your head with stories of adventure and dreams of glory. And one day, you wanted to join them, but it was not the life I wanted for you. I never told you of the weight I carry from all those I killed to keep everyone safe. But I always did what was asked of me. Until one day, I could not take the life I needed to. I hesitated, and everything changed. The people who I was supposed to protect died, and I was left behind, gravely wounded. The world believed that I was dead. I thought perhaps that was for the best. I've lost so much in my life. I've said goodbye to so many friends. I've buried the ones closest to me. But for all that I have lost, I know that there are still people who need to be protected. So I cannot stop fighting. Not yet. Not while there are people still waiting for me. One day, I hope you'll understand. Your mother, Anna.
Overwatch was looking for a hotshot pilot to test their next-generation teleporting fighter, the Slipstream. Enter Lena Upston. Call sign, Tracer. That's me. It was the sort of opportunity I dreamed of my whole life. But on my first flight, the teleportation matrix malfunctioned, and I disappeared. I was missing for months, and no one knew where or when I had gone. By the time Overwatch found me, I was little more than a ghost. The doctors call my condition chronological disassociation. I faded in and out of existence, disappearing for hours and days at a time. And even when I was there, I couldn't touch anything. But my friend Winston would not give up. He kept at it, day and night, until he invented the chronal harness that keeps me anchored to the present. I was myself again. Even better, it turned my condition into something great. I had control over my own time, and I could speed it up and slow it down at will. My career as a pilot was over, but my life as an Overwatch agent had begun. Sounds like someone needs me. But don't worry, we'll have plenty of time for stories later. Cheers! 20 years after we won the war against the Omnics, we were no closer to living together in peace. The building of a new home for the Omnics in London was supposed to be the first step in improving human-robot relations. But it never had a chance. The Omnic extremist group, Null Sector, launched a surprise attack on King's Row. Hundreds were killed, and thousands more were displaced as they took control. Now, they are hunting down the last of the survivors. It could be the beginning of a new war between humans and Omnics. Unless we can stop them. Commander Morrison has sent our strike team to liberate the city. It's my first mission, and the only way to save my home. I hope we're not too late.
An Overwatch facility was attacked. The team needed to respond, but officially, their hands were tied. Luckily, Blackwatch plays by its own rules. We all knew who was responsible. Rumor had it he'd be well protected. Our mission was to drop in and get him out so he could face the music. At least, that's how it was supposed to go.
Good evening, Commander Reyes. How will this look on the news? Overwatch unlawfully abducting a respected businessman? Even if you take me now, my friends would have me released within the week. All this theatrics have been a waste of our time.
You're right.
Reyes, what did you do? This was not the plan!
Well, looks like we're going with Plan B.
Our target was dead. So, I guess he got what was coming to him. Still, it didn't seem right. But that wasn't the end of our problems. For the first time, people knew we were out there. New faces stepped up to fill the void in Talon. And I can't help but wonder if that's where it all started to go wrong.
We stand on the brink of a breakthrough in human evolution. I have dedicated my life to unraveling its secrets. I take risks that others would consider to be unwise, for I do not share their caution. Overwatch held back the pace of scientific discovery for decades. They believed my methods were too radical, too controversial, and they tried to silence me. But there were others in the shadows, searching for ways to circumvent their rules. Freed from my shackles, the pace of our research hastened. Together, we delved deeper into those areas forbidden by law, by morality, and by fear. New patrons emerged who possessed an appetite for my discoveries. And with this knowledge, what new world could we build?
Choices?
What do you know about choices? 30 million orphaned children. I was one of them. The Omnic War robbed us of our choices. To survive, you did what you had to do. Steal or starve, kill or be killed. You helped your friends and hurt anyone who got in your way. If you hungered to rise above your circumstances, then when someone offered you a hand up, even the devil, you took it. It wasn't complicated. At least that was the lie I told myself. The truth is, I had choices, and I made them. But when you think you're a big man, it's hard to admit that you are not a brave one. Even harder when you understand that making a living is not enough. You must make a difference. I'm going to fight for a better world. For some, that means a bandage. For others, a bullet. Today, I give you the choice.
Who is Sombra? To the system, she's nobody. She doesn't exist. No one remembers the girl. There were 1,000 children like her after the war. But none of them could hack like she could. And she learned that people were just as easily manipulated. Now she understood how the world worked. Information is power. So she kept hacking. Politicians, corporations, governments. It was an addiction. But for the first time, someone noticed her. When your hardware's obsolete, it's time to upgrade. The girl was gone, and Sombra was born. Now, I'm ready. I'll find out who really runs the world. I'll find their weaknesses and how to exploit them. And when I do, I'll be the one pulling the strings. Who is Sombra? You'll never know. Adios.
Gravity. Gravity is a harness. My entire career has been devoted to this idea, to this moment. Decades. If the unifying theories are correct, we will soon be able to harness the power of a black hole. Nothing will ever be the same. Why? This is wrong. The field is failing. What happened? Where am I? Why am I being imprisoned? Release me! What is that melody? Hold it together. 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 Density, mass, momentum. It's too much to hold on to. I will bring you a new understanding of the universe. Violence. The universe is singing to me! What is that melody? Freedom. Imprisonment. It's all an illusion. Gravity is a harness. I have harnessed the harness. It's in you.
Humanity has always been tested. Conflict and war is the crucible through which we evolve.
Those who fall will be forgotten. Those who rise up, their names will be remembered forever.
When I was a girl, I had a fear of spiders. I was told they felt no emotion, that their hearts never beat. But I know the truth.
Human, machine, we are all one within the iris. Before me, I see the future. Humans and Omnics standing together. United by compassion. By common hopes and dreams.
Love. Monarch is in danger! Shoot her on the roof! I repeat, shoot her on the roof!
This is a secure channel. No one's...
Monarch is in danger! Get him out of here!
Identify yourself immediately. All rooftop teams, check and clear. Halo is leaving. I repeat, Halo is leaving. Sir, there's been a breach. We need to leave now. Chariot, this is Team 1. Halo is coming in hot. Over.
Huh?
Such a sweet, foolish girl.
What's that?
Looks like the party is over. Adieu, chérie. When I was a girl, I had a fear of spiders. I was told they felt no emotion, that their hearts never beat. But I know the truth. At the moment of the kill, they are never more alive.
My family tells of an ancient legend about two great dragon brothers. The dragon of the North Wind and the dragon of the South Wind. Together, they upheld balance and harmony in the heavens. But the two brothers argued over who could better rule their land. Their quarrel turned to rage, and their violent struggle darkened the skies, until the dragon of the South Wind struck down his brother, who fell to earth, shattering the land. The South Wind had triumphed, but as time passed and he realized his solitude, the sweetness of victory turned to ash. For years, the bereft dragon's grief threw the world into discord. And he knew only bitterness and sorrow. One day, a stranger called up to the dragon and asked, "O Dragon Lord, why are you so distraught?" The dragon told him, "Seeking power, I killed my brother. But without him, I am lost." The stranger replied, "You have inflicted wounds upon yourself. But now, you must heal. Walk the earth on 2 feet as I do. Find value in humility. Then you will find peace."
You are not the first assassin sent to kill me. And you will not be the last.
You are bold to come to Shimara Castle, the den of your enemies.
This was once my home. Did your masters not tell you who I was?
I know who you are, Hanzo. I know you come here every year on the same day. You risk so much to honor someone you murdered.
You know nothing of what happened.
I know you tell yourself that your brother disobeyed the clan, and that you have to kill him to maintain order. That it was your duty.
It was my duty, and my burden. That does not mean I do not honor him.
you honor your brother Genji with incense and offerings? Honor resides in one's actions.
You dare to lecture me about honor? You are not worthy to say his name! Ryuga wagateki wo kurau! Ryujin no ken wo kure! Only a Shamada can control the dragons. Who are you? Do it then. Kill me.
No. I will not grant you the death you wish for. You still have a purpose in this life, brother.
No. No. My brother is dead. Genji.
The dragon knelt upon the ground. For the first time, he was able to clearly see the world around him, and he became human. The stranger revealed himself as his fallen brother. Reunited, the two set out to rebuild what they had once destroyed.
What have you become?
I have accepted what I am, and I have forgiven you. Now you must forgive yourself. The world is changing once again, Hanzo, and it's time to pick a side.
Real life is not like the stories our father told us. You were a fool for believing it so.
Perhaps I am a fool to think there is still hope for you. But I do. Think on that, brother.
Everybody needs a family. Because it's not fair facing the world alone. I don't care how tough you think you are. They should always be there for support, no matter what. In the best of times, they will arm you with the tools to succeed. And in the worst of times, they will understand when things don't really go the way you planned. Now, some people are lucky enough to be born into the perfect family. Others, well, they go out and make one on their own. And once you've done that, anything is possible if everyone pulls their own weight. So, if you want to be part of my family, I do have one little rule. It's my way. Or, well, who am I kidding? It's my way.